Ryan Easterling here again with Scott Burgess of Chicago Hoops. Action on Saturday evening here at the EYBL event in Minneapolis is wrapping up. And again, just in the afternoon alone, we've seen a lot of great players. One of the guys I know was off-site, but I spoke to was Eric Davis of the Family 16U team. Has been averaging through 3 games this weekend about 24 points a game, including a 30-point effort. And he hit a couple clutch free throws in one of those games to get the win. So he's been playing great this spring. We saw him at Spiece, really liked him. He's an aggressive scorer. Likes to get in the opponent's head a little bit too, but definitely a guy to keep an eye on in 2015. Great point guard, shooting guard. His position will kind of work out as he progresses. He could grow into a shooting guard, but right now he's playing a lot of the point guard role. But I know a couple of the guys that Scott really liked were a couple guys out of Texas, so I'm going to go and throw it to him for those guys.
Yeah, I got to see Team Texas Titans go up against Boo Williams in a night game today. They pretty much shut down Thon Maker, who dominated early, and 2 guys on the perimeter really played well for them. In the first half, I really thought point guard Alex Robinson played well. A guy I really liked, last year at Elite 100 camp, just a crafty guard, really knows how to play the game, good in the pick and roll. Flashy with this passing, but not overly where he turns the ball over a lot. Just has good vision, knows when to make the right play, get everyone involved, and just a smart player. One of the better point guards I've seen here this weekend so far. And the guy he was getting the ball to was 2015 shooting guard DJ Hogue. 6'7", really long and athletic, but he is one of the best shooters I've seen in 2015 nationally. Just can absolutely shoot it from the perimeter, catch and shoot, moves well without the ball to get open, and is lights out from there. Also showed a pretty good feel for passing the ball as well, and he can guard both wing positions. So I think he's definitely going to be a guy to look for in that 2015 class. And 2 other guys from another Texas team had a nice day too.
Yeah, for Team Texas Elite, it's been some close games for them throughout this whole tournament. I know they won on the buzzer the first night. We talked to you a little bit about Matt McQuaid, but today especially, it was Austin Grandstaff in the late game here that really won it for him. The guard put in 25 points for him, including a 3-pointer, almost a carbon copy of McQuaid's game, really. He put in 25 points, including a 3-pointer with about 5 or 6 seconds left to put them ahead. And Grandstaff really had a great game for them. And another guy who we kind of saw progress a little bit and get a little more comfortable and calm down and settle in was Elijah Thomas, the big 2015 center. He's 6'11", big body, very skilled, and you can see the skill. The one thing I think that gets to him a little bit is he lets his frustrations get to him, but when he calms down and plays within himself and does what he knows he can do and has fun, really, he's a great player. You can see the post moves are all there. His post moves are still developing, but for a guy his age, his post moves are very far along. He knows how to use his body well. Would like to see him crash the boards a little harder, but that's just going to come with time as he builds his aggressiveness and gets more comfortable with where he's at. But I know those guys both had a great weekend. Their team, I believe, went 2-1 this weekend, and Grandstaff and, of course, McQuaid and Elijah Thomas are a big part of that. I'm going to throw it back over to Scott, though, for a guy that we're a little more familiar with out of the Chicago area.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson played really good today for the Mackerman Fire. Ended up going for 15 points, 10 assists. Got his big man Cliff Alexander involved, was running the floor, pushing the ball in transition, getting the ball to Cliff, getting the ball to his shooters, just distributing the ball great, getting anywhere he wanted on the floor. Great passer, but also he scored the ball, shot the ball pretty well from the perimeter. Definitely one of the top players in that 2015 class, as we mentioned numerous times, throughout the spring. But, man, Cliff Alexander is just taking this to another stratosphere, to be honest. Obviously he's one of the best players in the country, but he continues to improve. He's a powerful dunker. Everyone knows that. Shot blocker, defensive presence, rebounder, but his skill set continues to develop. And if he continues to do this, it could be scary. He actually hit 2 3-pointers, believe it or not, in their afternoon contest, and he looked comfortable doing it too. It wasn't just like it was, he's going to take a 3. It was like he's been working on it. He told me, that's a part of his game that he's trying to add to try to do a little bit of face-up four skill. He wants to be a power forward at the next level and project as that. And he continues to make developments in that. I really thought he did well in the pick and roll and pick and pop game as well as far as movement and skills. But, Cliff's had a monster spring, and it continues here at EYBL.
Yeah, never did I think we'd be labeling Cliff Alexander as a stretch four, but he goes and hits 2 threes, 2 out of 2 in the game. I mean, the guy is just incredible. And we talked about him in the morning session. We talk about him again. He's just having an excellent spring, especially in the absence of Jahlil Okafor. Yeah. One guy, though, that really stood out to me in that game where Brunson and Cliff Alexander just had a great game, too, for CIA Bounce was Chris Egge. Egge, the 2015 forward, he's about 6'8", but very athletic, long arms. Excellent shot blocker, pretty good offensive player, but you can see on the floor he plays with a lot of passion, a lot of energy. And that's one of the things I really like about him. It takes him a little bit to get going sometimes, but once he does, he just turns it up and turns it on and keeps the pedal to the metal. You can see, though, even early on, the skill is there. He's very good off of his pivot foot. He's very good in traffic. He's not afraid to attack the hoop, but I really liked what he did on the defensive end. He was a shot blocker. He was a defensive presence. He moves well laterally. He moves well to shut off the defender. He could probably guard on the perimeter. He can guard down on the post. And one thing that's a real bonus about him is he's a very smart player, very good student. And I think that translates well as to what he does on the floor. It was easy to see that he knew where he needed to be. He knew where his teammates were supposed to be. And more times than not, he was in the right place at the right times. And he made a lot of plays for his team that way. So it was really good to see what he was doing. And, of course, with being in 2015, he's still got another year. So it's going to be exciting to see how he develops the Canadian product coming here to play basketball in America. But anyway, that pretty much wraps it up here for Saturday night at EYBL. A little more than a day left here, about a day and a half. Action wraps up Monday, but make sure you check back tomorrow for Sunday's action. Until then, for Scott Burgess, I'm Ryan Easterling signing out.